And here's my little control scheme. Okay, so here's what I would prefer happens. Okay, so with the right stick. Okay, so assume we have left stick influential hitting. Okay, with the right stick, we load with everything except for bunting. Okay, so we load and we go forward. That's a normal swing. A defensive swing would be load and fighting off that way, load, fighting off that way. It's a curve, like a shove it and skate. Okay, you curve the stick, you fight it off to the left or right side or whatever. You might accidentally put it in play, whatever. If you pull back and let go, then your batter relaxes. I know so many times in baseball, I'm batting, and then I come and load and the pitch is a ball, I'm just like, oh, okay, I'll just drop everything and go. The reason I say that is because if you decide to go forward and then just kind of let go and you're like, oh crap, I still want to hit it, like that, that's another fight off swing. So right there, so you come here, you're relaxed, and then you push up and fight off. So at least you loaded first. And that's the other thing that I want to talk about. Say you don't load and you just flick, okay? I think that should be the bunting system. Okay, so you can drag bunt that way. You can push up, push kind of that way, kind of that way. That's how you'd bunt. Now, the difference between that and loading, then relaxing and coming up, is I guess the game will already know that you have loaded like that. So I think that's the difference there. Now with the check swing, okay, here's how they could implement it. So obviously, you start your swing after loading by coming forward, right? So now, how do you hold off your swing? You got to somehow go back, just like real life. You start swinging. How do you stop? Well, you got to stop your wrists. Maybe you might come all the way back, or you just might stop in the middle. So how will that work here? You go forward, and when you want to check, you go back. So you'll go here. You'll go, oh crap, flick back, or just let go. If you let go, then your batter will just hold it in place. So you know how some they swing and they snap back. Well, okay, so that's how you flick back. And some batters, they stop and they hold and they're like, no, I didn't break the play, no, I didn't go. So that's the difference. The other thing with that is you might accidentally hold the bat out there, you might accidentally make contact with the ball. So I think that's how it would work really well with the check swing there. So I hope that makes sense there. And then, again, I was talking about influential hitting. I prefer a zone hitting system, and that way you can influence, not fly balls and ground balls, but that way you can influence pull and push kinds of swings with this. So you would go for like a dead center kind of swing, a little more toward right field, left field, and then that's where you sort of then get the fight-off swings. The reason I say that is because, so you know how ballparks are built, right? The fences down the lines are a lot shorter than in dead center. Why? Because when you have a ball that's coming in, the hardest way to hit it is right back at you. The reason they have power alleys is because I think you can have a little bit stronger input by having your hands a little more in front of the ball, but you're still centering it in a way. So that's why in some fields, right center and left center are a little bit deeper. So what I think, though, is that with these swings, the more that you go off center, the less power you'll get overall. But if you connect it correctly with where the pitch is, say you're a lefty, you get an inside pitch and you hit it this way, and obviously you make right contact with this zone hitting, and you time it right and everything, well, then you're going to send it pretty far. But, what I mean is, you basically you get less power going that way. So that's why you go strong, weaker, fighting it off. So the defensive swing, it's not really its very own swing. It's just a weaker version of the strongest kind of swing. And I think also what they could do is, they can maybe make it a little bit pressure sensitive. So I think when people still want maybe a little bit more contact than just all out power, I think maybe a power swing could just be flick and hold on to it forward. Just like throwing in a baseball game, you hold on to it more to build more, and then maybe just flick it a little bit less like that. As long as you go all the way through, then you won't check your swing. Maybe you'll get more power, less power. I don't know. That's something they can maybe implement. So that's just a little bit that I wanted to talk about, and I hope that made sense a little bit. I would type it out to you, but it's a lot to type out. That's why I'm doing this. So sorry for the long rambling. Hope it made sense. If you have any more questions, leave a comment. You can post back on the message board because that's where I'll post it up. And hope this system works for this year because 2K is dying a slow death, and I really hope that it doesn't. Really hope they can make MLB 2K11. Really hope they can keep competing because competition is just great for sports games. Don't get me started on Madden and EA. 2K did it themselves with this baseball license. That's why EA can't make a game. So I just, so I really hope that they know what they're doing here. So I hope that they listen to this, hope they pay attention, hope that they sort of see what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to make it more realistic in terms of baseball. So thanks for watching.